Hey there, Kevin Berg with Mixing Up Good Lighting. I've been selling and installing shades from Lutron for a long time. And even with years of experience, things happen where shade or shades need to be cut down or resized to fit the window. You take final measurements for your project, you write them down. Unfortunately, you wrote them down wrong. You fat finger or transpose them when you're entering the order, probably late at night after you've been in the field all day. Sometimes site conditions change once you leave. Cabinets, wood molding, or stone gets installed. You get the idea. Sometimes you just don't have all the available information. If shades are an outside mount, this might not be that big a deal. But when they're an inside mount, this can be a real issue, especially on the day of installation is when you discover things have changed and not for the better. As a good friend of mine likes to say, 1/8 of an inch can make for a real bad day. This 3-part series is designed to show you how to disassemble a Lutron Triathlon shade, cut down the width of the housing, as well as remove and resize the fabric and put it all back together. I want to be perfectly clear though, once you change the shade from its original condition, you've just voided the warranty. That being said, if you have a shade that is now too wide for an installation, you've got 2 choices. You can either resize the shade or toss it in the trash and order a new one from Lutron. Trust me, we've all said, hey, I'll just order a new one from Lutron and I'll keep this one for another job, which unfortunately, my friends, that just never happens. I hope this 3-part series is helpful and gives you confidence to resize a triathlon shade on your own successfully. Please like and subscribe if you find this information useful. Now, let's roll the film. Hi, Kevin Berg here. Today we are at Architectural Window Shades in El Monte. Today we're going to take on the challenge of resizing a triathlon shade. Triathlon shades is definitely a great jumping off point for dealers getting into the window treatment business. Sometimes what happens is you do an inside mount, you measure it to be 1, and what it turns into is we need to make it a little narrower. It could be 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, and that can make for a bad day. This could be a little intimidating pulling all this apart. So today we're just going to show you how to disassemble a triathlon shade and successfully cut it and reassemble it back together. So what we're going to need is just some basic hand tools. Nothing special over here. Typical stuff you would carry, Phillips straight blade screwdrivers. I would bring some needle nose because we're going to end up grabbing some parts. We're definitely going to need a star torque because there's a screw that's going to require this. And then brought along kind of my surgical tweezers, so if I drop something down inside, I can get it out of there without any problems. But everything else is pretty basic. Tape measure, safety glasses. We're going to need a Sharpie, something to mark our cut marks. But other than that, let's get into it and let's pull this baby apart. All right, so what we're going to do is let's just take a quick inventory of what we're looking at. So this is our metal extrusion that ends up going on the wall. We're going to pull this yellow tag out of here if you ever watched any of the other training videos, but this little guy here, it just tells you not to put screws in here when you mount it in. But we're going to get rid of this, get it out of the way, because we're going to end up cutting the extrusion on this side with a chop saw. So we'll get that out of the way. Sort of the tricky part can be getting the bracket off of here and making sure that the spring that's helping with the assistance of making the shade go up and down, that it doesn't come unwound. We want to capture that information, right? So what we want to do is have a nice clean surface. So if you're in the field and not in a workroom like we are here, you're going to need to lay out a tarp, maybe use a countertop to make sure you protect it. But we want this to be a clean, smooth, flat surface, right? So we'll get our extrusion out of the way. This shade here from side to side is going to measure 37 inches. And what we're going to do is I need to resize this down for this dealer down to 35 inches. Now, we have the fascia that typically would go on this already removed, but that would be a part that you would have to cut as well. So it could be either the fabric wrap fascia or the metal extrusion, but it's no different than trying to cut the extrusion that's going on the wall. So you don't have to get too weird about that. All right, let's take a close inventory of what we're going to tackle here. So just look at the shade as sitting on the table as if it's sitting on the wall. So if I was on the wall, I'm looking at it. So what I mean, left and right. This is if it was sitting on the wall. Obviously, it looks a little backwards from your angle, but that's all I'm referring to, right? So on triathlon shades, the battery compartment and the motor itself, the drive, are always on the left-hand side. So most of the work we're going to do is on the right-hand side. We're going to end up pulling the tube off of the drive. You'll see that happen. We're going to take a couple easy screws off this end, and this is all going to come apart pretty straightforward. So we've got our metal extrusion. Again, we're going to cut this down. This guy here is currently at 37 inches. I've already taken off the fascia, which that would have to get cut to. So if it's the fabric wrap fascia or the metal extrusion, I'm just going to cut it. That's not much more complicated than just cutting the mounting bracket that goes on. But this guy here is at 37 inches, and our contractor needs us to bring this down an even 2 inches to 35. Okay, on the right-hand side, we're going to have the two screws that we're going to take off. So we've got the Phillips that's actually holding a small little metal key in place. And then this is where there's a spring assist that's installed on this side. So we're going to want to keep track of that. We don't want to pull this all apart and have that spring unwind. And then at the other end of the sort of the battery compartment extrusion, we've got this torque, this T15 torque screw that we're going to take out. Those two screws, pull that key out, and this is all going to come apart. So let's go ahead and start with the torque, because that's going to be our simplest one, because we don't want to deal with the spring just yet. So let's go and back out this little torque screw. We don't want to take any more of these screws out, just the two that are needed. Otherwise, you got some assembly required. So let's back these guys out. Should probably bring myself some power tools next time. All right, almost there. All right, so you'll see this screw is just kind of going into that compartment. So that's actually out. All right, so we're sort of freed up, and let's back our screw kind of out of the way, just so that we don't have to deal with that completely. This is where that clean, dry surface is going to come in handy. We want to keep everything within sight and organized. So it's just sort of do a mapping of everything you're pulling out, keep things organized. All right, I'll put that torque away. Now we're just going to take the Phillips out of the end, which is holding the bracket in on the spring or idler side, right? So all I'm going to do is back this guy out. It's going to come out pretty easily compared to the extrusion. All right, so to help us get this all disassembled, right, we've got our two screws out, and we've got our battery compartment and extrusion. And what we can do is we can actually go to the left-hand side of the shade, and we can sort of slide the battery compartment and the drive out a little bit, get us a little less. All right, so just kind of watch. Well, that come loose a little bit, and off it comes, right? So we're just going to back that off a little bit. Now we've got the battery compartment freed up. Now what we want to do is get the end piece here off where the idler side is. But what we don't want to lose is just pull this off, because then the spring's going to unwind. So kind of holding my finger on top where the metal clip is. All right, so we don't need to pull the little metal keeper out, the sort of key that's in here ahead of time. I'm going to just kind of pull on this, and you can see now that there's a little ridge, or catch on the side bracket that's got an offset here. So what I'm going to do, I'm still holding this in place now. Just going to grab this, with one finger holding the spring assist tight or in place. I'm going to pull off this little metal key. I'm going to set it aside, all right, because that's just sort of holding everything together. And now all I'm going to do, this thing is going to go clockwise, and I'm going to count the rotations, right? So let's look what that looks like until it's, so there's 1, 2, and 3. It's getting a little less tight. 4, 5. So there's 6 at the bottom. So that's about 6 1/4 turns that we ended up with. We just remember, the way it's sitting now, we want to get in at least 6 1/4 turns so our spring assist gets wound back up. So when we put it back together, we're going to do this counterclockwise versus we saw it go this way. So we're just going to do the opposite when we reassemble. So we'll talk about that. So now, get it completely pulled apart. All we're going to do is simply just slide this guy right off of the EDU or the motor. There we go. Simple as that. We're completely disassembled, ready to measure and resize and cut. Okay, just to review what we've got before we get into resizing, we've got our extrusions that are here. What's left is just our two screws We've got the screw that was holding in the side. The little longer one that's got a self-tapping that's going to go back into the battery compartment extrusion. This little sort of Allen key looking thing, there's a little metal clip that's going to go back in. And then again, the right-hand bracket, which got our connections where the island sort of slips into. So it's got a little bit of a ridge. So you'll see when we come back, we put it back together, we're going to have to finesse to get this bracket back on. It's what's holding it all together, but very simple operation to pull apart. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we're just going to measure what we got to do, our deduct on our extrusion. So we're looking to take this whole thing down when it's done, down to 35 inches. And overall it's currently 37, so we're just going to take 2 inches off of everything. So we're getting lucky in our math here, right? So we've got our 2 inches. We're going to take off our extrusion here. We'll mark, and we're going to take 2 inches off of the battery compartment extrusion, which is just this piece of metal, right? So, and then let's go here. I'll try to give you a good camera shot so you guys can see, but we're going to take 2 inches off of that, right? So there's our mark. We'll end up taking 2 inches off the roll, but we're going to go look at the cutting table. But all we're going to do here is take this, and now we'll go over to the chop saw, and we'll deduct 2 inches off of these, and then we'll move over to the cutting table, and we'll cut the fabric. All right, so the next step pertains to getting the shade fabric ready to be cut down. So in the bottom is going to be our hem bar. Now this is the designer hem bar from Lutron. Really easy to manipulate. If this happens to be what's called a half wrap hem bar, it's going to be a little bit more of a working or cutting that hem bar in place. But this one, luckily, we're going to be able to pull apart. So we're going to pull off the end caps off of here. Do my best to just kind of grab them with my fingers. I've got clean hands, but maybe having gloves or something when you're handling the fabric would be a suggestion. All right, so we're just going to pull off our little end caps here. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn. I'm trying to avoid using any kind of tools because that could end up damaging the fabric. So, but let's see how I do here. Me unavoidable, right? So let's maybe grab our needle nose pliers. Try to grab this without damaging the plastic. There we go. It's like pulling out a tooth. All right, so all we got left in here is a metal weight, our hem bar just down here. And what Lutron does is they put a little bit of tape or glue on the end when they wrap it around the metal weight. But we got to get that off. So we're going to basically gently go in there with a screwdriver, free up the glue and the tape, and then we'll end up pushing the metal hem bar out of there. Ready? All right, so let's give this a try. And let's check this side. Seems to be freed up a little bit there. All right, so just kind of rotating the screwdriver, doing my best to not cut through the fabric, right? Now you can see where we're getting a little bit aggressive, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. There we go. Took a little bit of work, but now you can see all we're going to do is just slide out our little metal hem bar. And we're going to do a 2-inch deduction on this as well. All right, so we're at the chop saw part of all this. So what we've got here is just your typical miter chop saw. It's using a non-ferrous blade, so we want to make sure that's what we're using. It's got 120 teeth and it's super sharp. So definitely if you start cutting lots of extruded metal, you're going to need to pay attention to the tools, but having a non-ferrous blade chop saw is going to make all the difference in the world. So these guys here, when they're cutting the metal, they put their own little sort of extra pieces of wood in here. What this is going to allow us to do is when this extrusion is up against the saw blade or the saw backing, if the teeth were to catch a little bit, we're not going to bend the end of the extrusion, which would become a big problem for us when we try to put this all back together on the wall. So you can see on the back, this sort of V shape, we're helping mitigate that. So they went ahead, clipped this together, things that you can get in the field. They also went and put some tape down on the metal part of the base of the saw, just kind of help mitigate any kind of scratching, that kind of stuff. So definitely one of those things, preparations goes a long way here. And sort of the last thing is safety glasses. this thing is going to go off like a hand grenade. We're going to have hundreds of little pieces go everywhere. So don't chop this inside somebody's nice, immaculate home. I know there's that desire to be quick in the field, but you're probably going to want to take this outside and be careful where this all goes. So what we got is I've made my marks, 2 inches we're going to take off of this extrusion. We're just going to cut through this guy. So here we go. All right, nice clean cut. And as you can see, metal everywhere. All right, so we just set our extrusion aside. Let's grab our battery compartment that we've marked. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna sort of spray off or clean off the saw. All right, so as we go, we wanna get the metal pieces away. All right. If you're in the field, you obviously don't have compressed air available. Maybe it's a broom, right? Or just a hand brush, kind of get things, keep it clean, or a vacuum that you would have in the air. That would obviously work very well. All right, so we're gonna get our wood block out of the way. Being very careful not to tear my battery compartment all apart with the drive. Set this up on the saw. Let's definitely measure 3 times, cut once, because once we cut it, we can't grow it back, including my fingers, so let's keep those out of the way. All right, let's get this lined up. We'll fire. That's all there is to it. Let's go cut some fabric. All right, so this has been the first of our 3 videos. In our next video, we're gonna go into the workroom and we're gonna do the fun part. We're gonna cut the fabric down to the appropriate size.